Hi guys, welcome back to Podcast. So for today's video, I'll be doing another review, but this time I think this is one of the very special model that I have received on this channel. So as you can see on the video, I got the Trans Hobby Porsche 911 GT1 LM 1998, and this one is a limited edition from Hong Kong Toy Car Salon 2025, an event that was held a couple weeks ago, and I got this through my friend that went there. And yeah, I asked him if he could help me get this model because I'm very interested to see this new brand right here, because this model, you can call it as their debut model, because this is their very first release and they straight making into a limited edition event model. So yeah, that's the backstory on how I got this model. Anyway, the Trans Hobby itself is a newcomer brand in the true 64 scale model. And as far as I know, that this Trans Hobby was kind of like the sub brand from the RMZ or RMZ City, where they usually made the a bit larger scale, like from the 136 scale, like the toy car. And recently they decided to make a new sub brand where they making a much more detailed and much more accurate scale for the true scale 64 model called the Trans Hobby. And this is one of their releases, one of their models, the Porsche 911 GT1 LM. And we got more upcoming models in the future, as you can see from the event itself, from the Hong Kong Toy Car, where they displayed many new models and very interesting models. And yeah, that is the Trans Hobby. And well, this is very unusual for me because I haven't opened the box itself. It's still sealed, so I think this video will be my first impression on this new brand. So we are going to see it together on this video. But first, I would like to talk about the packaging first, as usual, because that is what you first looked at the model. And starting from the front, we got obviously the logo of the brand itself, the Trans Hobby, and then the visual artwork of the model itself, the Porsche 911 GT1 LM 1998, and then the limited edition. And obviously this is a Porsche licensed product, so this is a license. Thank God for those who kind of like thinking about license that important. And then on the top we got to see another scale, and this is the thing that kind of like makes me interested, because as you can see right here, even though that this is like their first debut for their model, but it's already said that this is model number 90. Like, isn't it should be the number one, because this is their first release? But why are they already picking number 90 for this model for the first release? And that is, I have no idea about it. But yeah, that is the confusing part, because why they put the number 90 on this model. Yeah, anyway, there you go. We got the licensed product again and the model name, and this is what the kind of like the overall look of the model looks like, because we could see that the model will have two separate openable parts at the front and the rear. And then on the back, as you can see right here, obviously we got another license from Porsche, and then the what do you call it, the 2025 blah 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 Porsche Crash prototype. And another interesting part is that we could see maybe the future model that they were planning to produce. Like, we can see Panamera, we can see Carrera, Cayenne, 918 Spider, Macan, Taycan, and a 911 Turbo, GT1, GT3. Well, I think that's kind of like all the Porsche models that they were planning to release in the future. And then we got to see the social media and the hologram stickers for the Porsche and the Trans Hobby. And what else? Oh, about the packaging itself, the first impression that I got is that it kind of feels like a packaging from a BBR, or maybe a Kaido house, or maybe the recent or the exclusive packaging from Poprese, because this is kind of like have the hard box packaging, just like the Kaido that I got here. So it has the same packaging, similar packaging, but one thing to notice about this packaging itself, compared to the Kaido house that I got here, Kaido house has a much better what do you call it, finishing on the sticker wrap for the packaging. Like, if you could compare it with the Trans Hobby, like the sticker itself is not really flush or neat to the side of the box. And you could also notice that this side right here is slightly slanted, like it's not really lined up. Like the writings is a little bit slanted. So, you can see right there. So yeah, that is one thing to notice. Although I don't really care about it, but it's worth noticing. So yeah, I think that's about it for the packaging. And now we are going to take a look at the model itself, and in a short second, because this is still sealed, and I'm very nervous and I'm very excited also to see what the model looks like. So yeah, let's get to it. I got the knife right here, the cutter. So we are going to just open the seal, the sticker. This two right here, it's very similar to the Kaido house with these two seal for the underside. And yeah, we are going to open it. Oh, we got the Trans Hobby right here on the inside. And then for the inside, oh, very interesting, we got this kind of like sponge, or what do you call it? It kind of feels like they tried to make it very safe on the packaging. It's very thick, you can see that. And yeah, this is the model. And okay, this is very interesting. They use a full sponge for the inside of the packaging. And yeah, this is the model. Okay, I'm very excited. Okay, this is very nice. Ooh, you could also see, you could already see the disc brakes behind the wheels. Very nice. And well, where should I start? I think let's start from the front. I'm very excited. This is a very nice model. Wait, let me try. Okay, just go with the flow, starting from the front. So yeah, at the front, oh, by the way, so this is kind of like the prototype car version of the actual car, because this one doesn't have the actual racing livery, and instead they only have this kind of like green carbon fiber for the prototype model. And for the details of the carbon fiber itself is very interesting, because this is not like the usual carbon fiber that you can see on a modern supercar or hypercars. This is much more like the old, the pattern is like the old one, the carbon fiber, like the carbon Kevlar, if I'm not mistaken. Like this has a very different pattern compared to the modern one, so that is very interesting. And starting from the front, we got to see the plastic insert headlights, which is normal and usual in other brands. And what else? The Verstainer, and this one is plastic, the front grille. And we got to see the Porsche crash logo, the Verstainer Mogul one. And yeah, that I don't have much to talk about because we don't have the full livery right here. And then moving on to the side, now this is the interesting part, because the wheels itself is pretty nice. let's try to take a closer look on the wheels. So it tried to replicate the BBS that we used on this model, and yeah, it rolls freely, as you can see on the video. And you could also see the disc brakes behind the wheels with the red calipers. And for the side part, we got to see the Warsteiner and then the other sponsors, the Michelin, Bilstein, BBS, H&R, and what's this? I can't really see that. And then we got the Michelin on the back, and what else? Another sponsor livery, Mobile One, and yeah, I think this is the fuel cap for the fuel. Although I think it's not really that neat to the mold, the casting mold, slightly off the pattern. And then moving on to the back side, this is very nice. You could also see the plastic insert taillights with the painted or tampo printed blinkers on the top. And then for the engine, it's not really visible from the back because it kind of like blocked with this huge chunk of plastic. But you could also see the two exhaust pipes that were coming out from the plastic, which is really nice. And what else? The wings itself is also pretty nice, and it has this carbon fiber pattern on it, and it is different than the body part, so it's very interesting. And then this is the sponsor for the engine cover, the Warsteiner. So now we are going to take a closer look on the features of this model. So as you can see on the packaging earlier, they have this openable feature for both front and the rear parts. So let's try to do it on the model. That is the rear part, and then this is the front one. And something worth noticing is that the opening itself, it's pretty similar to the recent pop race, like the CLK GTR and also the upcoming Mazda 787B, because this one also used magnets to kind of like secure the open parts, and the magnet itself is pretty strong. Like it could easily snapped on the casting on the model, and I think you don't need to worry about the parts going wait, why is it not locking? Oh, I think it's locking. Wait, why is it harder to do on the rear? Oh, okay. Wait, is it safe? It kind of safe, like, nope. Turns out it's not. Okay, yeah, that is safe. So yeah, the opening parts has this magnetic feature just like the pop race, but I don't really know if this is the same factory as the pop race, just based on the magnetic, because I mean other brand can do magnetic features. It's not only pop race, so I can't really make sure that if this is a pop race model. But yeah, let's see the details of the opening parts. So at the front you could see this gold details, which is maybe looks like the air intakes for the, I don't know, maybe the engine or the braking. And then you could also see this suspension details, although it's not really detailed because this is just a molded plastic. It's not really that very detailed one, but yeah, you could also tell that this is a very nice detail. And then what else? Just moving on to the back, because we don't have nothing to see at the front other than this sponsor, the Mobile One. And on the back, the back itself has a much more detailed compared to the front one, because we could see this very complex bars right here. They kind of like shape the car. And for the engine itself, it's not really visible, but you could see this airbox right here, and then the suspension again, which is a bit much more detailed than the front. And then these two parts right here, which I don't really know what this parts, and this yellow thing behind the airbox. But yeah, what else? So this is, maybe this is the air pipe that goes through the disc brakes. And then yeah, this is the exhaust details, which is just like a glued pipes to the plastic chunk right here. And then this is the magnet that's securing the rear shell. And yeah, that is pretty nice. But now, this is the one thing that I noticed at the first time that I opened the box earlier. As you can see right here, the, what do you call it, this windshield part, it's not really fit on the model itself, so it's kind of like a bit open like this. And when you look at it with the closed front shell, it is much more noticeable that it is not properly attached to the body. You can see this very huge gap right here, which is a shame. Maybe I try to fix it after this video. I don't know if I can fix it, but I tried. But then yeah, I think that's about it for the details on the model itself. Now I want to see the underside. That is also very interesting, although this underside is just a plain base, but you can see these two holes right here that usually used for an acrylic locking packaging. Like they use a screw for this part for the acrylic. So maybe for the future releases, they don't only have this type of packaging, they will also have the acrylic packaging, and that is very interesting for the trans hobby. So yeah, other than that, I think that's about it for this video. And my first impression for this brand's debut is very nice. Like, this is very promising brand, and if you want to check out their upcoming models, you could also see it on maybe Facebook groups. You could see the Hong Kong Toy Car Salon post from other people. Like they try to document it, a lot of the prototypes from many brands, especially this one, the Trans Hobby. And yeah, I'm looking forward to much more models on the future for this model. And yeah, there are some one or two issues in my sample right here, but I think it's not really that annoying for me, like especially other than this windshield part, which kind of like annoyed me that I have to fix this. But yeah, other than that, I think this is a great model. For its price, I think they will sell around $15, like in the range of Pop Race and Mini GT, which is pretty nice, especially if you have these opening parts. And yeah, this is a great model. I think that's about it for this video, guys. And this is the Trans Hobby Porsche 911 GT1 LM 1998, the test car. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.